Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's episode of TNA Impact Wrestling for November 22nd, 2012. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and this is TNA's Thanksgiving special. And it actually wasn't that bad. I enjoyed a lot of stuff on this show, but there was some goofy stuff in between. I didn't care for the final segment with the Hogans being the focus of the show again, and I didn't really care for that at all, but there was some good stuff on this week's episode. And it starts off with Wes Briscoe versus Garrett Bischoff in his gut check match. And it wasn't that bad, I thought. I mean, I'm surprised because I thought this was going to be crap, and I didn't think it was that bad of a match. I didn't like the fact that TNA tried to make it look like Garrett Bischoff is on even ground with this guy, because surely he's better than Garrett Bischoff. But I did notice that Wes Briscoe has this tattoo on his side that kind of goes around his back, and it looks like he's trying to turn himself into a cheetah or something. It reminded me of those people who turn themselves into animals, like a tiger or a jigsaw puzzle or something like that, and it was just really bizarre looking. But Kurt Angle's watching the match, and Wes Briscoe actually gets the win here. He wins. He's the first person to win his gut check match, so Angle's congratulating him. Backstage, Al Snow tells the other past winners that they can challenge anyone they want tonight. Joey Ryan comes out and says that Hogan wants to split up Matt Morgan and himself, so they're going to go after the tag titles so Hogan can't split them up. And he calls out Chavo Guerrero. Chavo goes for the frog splash. Matt Morgan runs out, choke slams him off the top rope. Hernandez chases him away. Austin Aries says everyone's going to take notice when they see who he calls out. Sam Shaw comes out and calls out Alex Silva. It's kind of a gut check winner versus winner match. I didn't think it was that bad. Sam Shaw wins with a cannonball leg drop. And I guess it makes sense to put him over since they never really wanted Alex Silva to begin with, which is kind of sad, but yeah. I wasn't surprised Sam Shaw won this one. Eric Young and ODB go to see Hogan. Eric wants to do the Turkey Challenge match. Hogan tells him to call out whoever he wants and watch out for the aces and eights. So a little foreshadowing here. Robbie E wants Eric Young to call him out. Tara and Jesse come up, so Eric Young decides to call out Robbie E and Jesse. We see the aces and eights celebrating Thanksgiving, and I noticed here, and I have no idea how I didn't notice this before, but Devon and Doc are the only ones actually drinking beer. But the others are always doing cheers with the beer. And they can't drink it because they're wearing freaking masks. And it was really funny because another Aces member is like stirring up the food. And he's acting like he's going to get some, but then he just sits it back down. I guess he's just trying to make it look like he's doing something. But yeah, they're all wearing masks, so they're never actually drinking anything. They're just hanging around back there. But Devon and Doc are drinking. It's just something I thought was funny. I can't believe I didn't notice this before. But so anyways, Devon says he's got some strippers coming for dessert, and they throw another dart to pick a random victim for tonight. Christian York comes out. He challenges Jeff Hardy, and I'm glad they did this, because why wouldn't you challenge the champion? It just makes sense. But they had a decent match. York looked pretty strong here. Hardy wins with a swanton. They shake hands after. Bobby Roode hits the ring, hits a spinebuster on York, and spears Jeff Hardy, holds up the title. Taylor Hendricks calls out Tara. Tara wins with a Widow's Peak. Not much else to this one. I wasn't really interested in it. Eric Young versus Jesse versus Robbie E in the Turkey Challenge. ODB and Tara start fighting. They roll on top of the referee. Eric Young beats Jesse with a roll-up, and he wears the turkey suit. And then afterwards, the Aces hit the ring. They handcuff ODB to the turnbuckle, and they beat the crap out of Eric Young. Doc breaks his foot with the hammer. I guess this is a way to write him off TV. I don't know what's going on with Eric Young. I don't know if he's going to leave. I heard he wants to leave and just focus on his TV show, so who really knows at this point? If they are doing this to write him off TV, it would have made sense to have him drop the tag titles to Jesse and Tara, but I don't know. So Christopher Daniels and Kazarian come out. Christopher Daniels is awesome. They really need to do more with this guy. He calls the fans ass bags. Kazarian calls out AJ. Kazarian does the side dance. And AJ wins with a Pele. And what I think they're building towards is a final resolution when it's Christopher Daniels versus AJ. I think AJ is going to lose that match, and that's the one that's going to send him over the edge. I feel like they've been teasing an AJ heel turn all year at different points, but hopefully they're going to go through with it this time, and after losing to Christopher Daniels, he just won't be able to take that loss. And then he will finally turn heel. Austin Aries comes out, and I have to admit, even though I didn't like this final segment because it was focused on the frickin' Hogans, I still thought Austin Aries did a kick-ass job here. He was very funny. And he says that Hogan is the cause of all his problems. He's the one holding him down. So he calls out Hogan, Brooke Hogan. And he tells her that he's sick of the Hogans, and he bets that she's sick of the name too. She's probably dreamed of getting married and becoming Miss Brooke Trump, Miss Brooke McMahon, which got a great reaction from the fans, but not Miss Bully Ray or something like that. And he says that she could have just called a double and he would have given her all the stuffing she needs or can handle or something like that. So this causes Hulk Hogan and Bully Ray to come out, and Austin Aries jumps out of the ring and he just says, "I'm sorry." And Hulk Hogan has a stare down with Bully Ray. So that was it. That was how the show ended. This really felt like, because Austin Aries played the footage from the past couple weeks on Impact with Brooke Hogan talking to Bully Ray, and it was, I don't know, it feels like TNA did AJ Styles and Claire Lynch. WWE did AJ Lee and John Cena. And now it feels like TNA is doing Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan. Like, why do these two companies keep thinking these angles are what the fans want to see? Because I don't know anybody who wants to see this. And this is just crap. I mean, it's terrible. It didn't work with Claire Lynch. It doesn't work with John Cena. Why do they think it's going to work with Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan, of all people? It's just a horrible idea. And I guess this is going to build to a Bully Ray versus Austin Aries match as a way to give Aries something to do. Jeff Hardy's now feuding with Bobby Roode, so Austin Aries has to have an opponent. I don't know. It's not very exciting at all. The Aces and Eights are still running around attacking random people. They really have no purpose anymore. There's nobody they're feuding with. So it's kind of just up in the air. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on with TNA anymore. Like, all the angles they build to, they kind of just drop the ball with. And then it's just, they're there, but they're not really doing anything with the Aces and Eights anymore. They're just kind of attacking people, I guess, until TNA comes up with an idea for them to do. So I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this week's episode because Christian York versus Jeff Hardy was a good match. And the final segment sucked, but Austin Aries did do a good job with this. And there were some decent matches on the rest of the show. So it wasn't really a bad episode, and I'm not going to be too hard on it because it was a Thanksgiving special, and they probably knew that the ratings weren't going to be that great, but they still did a pretty good show despite that. So I did enjoy this week's episode, and that's my review of this week's episode of TNA Impact. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.